Coming up, mangled metal, serious car crashes in D.C. and Montgomery County. One of them hurt a child. Another ended up with a smoking Tesla and a car overturned. What we know right now. Smithsonian Museum set to close Sunday. It was the final day to visit until the government shutdown ends. We got a reaction from museum fans coming up.
This is a serious storm. This is something we're taking very, very seriously.
Storm warning for Ocean City, Maryland. Leaders say that flooding and winds could recreate conditions from Superstorm Sandy. What to know and prepare for to keep everybody safe. And elsewhere, a wet weekend in the DMV for your Sunday. Showers likely. We're breaking down the timing for you to plan ahead. Famed actress Diane Keaton has reportedly died at the age of 79. The news spreading across the movie and TV industry. Plus, we are stretching your dollar. The not so sweet news about chocolate prices, but the tips and tricks to save cash before trick or treat.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good Saturday evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Ben Dennis. Your top story tonight, a child is among several people hurt in a serious car crash in Montgomery County today. Emergency crews rushed to South Frederick Avenue and South Westland Drive around 10:30, just down the road from Gaithersburg High School. A pickup truck had severe damage and ended up hitting a utility pole. The front end of a sedan was caved in. Another car was reportedly involved, but the driver of that car declined to be treated. Meantime, 4 other people were treated for their injuries on scene. That includes a child. Good news, everybody's expected to be okay. Exactly what happened is still unconfirmed. And in the district, 5 people were rushed to the hospital after a very serious crash in Northwest overnight. Fire officials say it happened at Rhode Island and Florida Avenues around 4:30 this morning. 2 cars involved. One of them caught on fire. The other flipped on its roof. DC Fire says medics took 1 man to the hospital with critical injuries. 4 other people, 1 woman and 3 men, were transported with serious injuries. The cause of the crash has not yet been shared.
The government to shut down and not allow things that are for the citizens to enjoy. It makes it's a shame.
The federal government shutdown is heading in its 12th day, and more people are feeling the impact. The latest, it's tourism. DC News Now's Dave Laval tells us all of the Smithsonian museums are now closed until further notice.
The National Museum of African American History hosted just over 1.5 million visits last year. But it's anyone's guess as to when the doors will reopen to the public here and at the other Smithsonian museums.
Thought it was really informative. Lots of history.
Minka Giles and friends traveled from Chicago to get their first look at the museum.
Powerful, very thought-provoking, extremely important to society.
The group is in town for Monday night's Bears game against the Washington Commanders. They moved up their visit by 1 day.
Because of the shutdown, we changed our flights because we wanted to see the museum.
All the Smithsonian museums and buildings remained open after the start of the shutdown due to leftover money from last year. They're now closed to the public.
The reasons behind it is very depressing. The people are not first. Politicians are, doing their own thing, but they don't have the people in mind at all. So.
Concern is also for all Smithsonian employees.
And right now, these people basically will be without a job and being able to not to pay for their bills. A lot of them, I come over here every day, and they're worried about how they're going to make it over the next month.
The shutdown impacts all 21 Smithsonian Institution museums, 14 education and research centers, and the National Zoo.
It's a shame because people have planned their vacations and planned their travel around certain events, and for the government to shut down and not allow things that are for the citizens to enjoy, it makes it's a shame.
The Smithsonian Institution drew nearly 17 million visits last year to its museums and other facilities. Along the National Mall in Northwest, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
All right, Dave, thank you. Meantime, President Donald Trump has just announced that he is directing the Pentagon to use all available funds to make sure U.S. troops are paid come Wednesday. That's despite the government shutdown. Mr. Trump made this announcement on social media, saying that he's directing this because, quote, our brave troops will miss the paychecks they're rightfully due on October the 15th. However, no similar action seems to be brewing for other federal employees without pay while they work. And for continuing coverage, resources for families, and the latest on talks to get that government back open, head to our website at dcnewsnow.com. Time is 9:05. You're the first look at your forecast. Now is meteorologist Jim Danner filling in for Scott Sumner tonight. Jim, what's the latest?
Good Saturday evening, seen a lot of clouds around today. We have seen a few showers around, still seeing a few of them out there at this hour, but not looking for a whole lot until we get to past midnight into like early morning, around 3, 4 a.m. That's when we really start to see those rain chances start to pick up. Those temperatures out there have been in the 60s pretty much all day long. Get a little bit closer in here. Starting to see some 50s out further off towards the west there, but low to mid 60s out there. And these temperatures won't drop a whole lot further than they are right now because of all the moisture we have in place, plus those clouds kind of acting as a blanket out there. So the winds have been light today as well, but they've been out of the northeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, and they're going to stay fairly light for the overnight period tonight. But it is down towards the south that we're seeing that big area of showers and some heavier rainfall. That whole area of low pressure is moving up towards the north, so it's going to be late tonight. During the day tomorrow, high rain chances, some of that rainfall getting heavy at times. We'll have it linger into Monday before it starts to taper off. And those temperatures tomorrow morning dropping down here locally right around 60 degrees, but out western portions of the viewing area, we'll see some of those temperatures in the lower 50s. How much rainfall we can see, we'll take a look at that. And also your 7-day forecast coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Jim. Leaders in Ocean City, Maryland tonight are warning of the incoming nor'easter storm that's set to have an impact on the mid-Atlantic. They say the effects of this storm could be similar to what we saw during Superstorm Sandy back in 2012. They say to expect 35 to 45 mile per hour winds, 1 to 2 feet of street flooding, possible power outages, and the Route 50 bridge might be impassable. Ocean City says we can expect heavy rain and strong winds to start tonight. Then tomorrow into Monday, the storm's going to intensify, bringing several cycles of high tide that could worsen floods in low areas. There's also a temporary shelter at the convention center on Coastal Highway that'll open tomorrow at noon. Go ahead and bring those essentials, clothes, medications, and chargers.
We want our Bayside residents and visitors to Ocean City, all of our businesses, to take this seriously and to begin preparing now. Look out for one another. Check on your neighbor, talk to your neighbors, make sure everybody is aware of what is about to take place. Working together, we will all get through the next few days. Our goal is to get through safely.
Right there, the sound of a deadly blast in Tennessee that started an all-out search for 18 people. Tonight, officials say there are no survivors. That news was being shared during a press conference earlier. Take a listen.
And at this time, we have recovered no survivors. It's a great loss to our communities. And I alluded to it yesterday. It's not like working a accident. It's not like working a tornado. We're dealing with explosions. And I would say at this time we're dealing with remains.
Well, it's unfolding outside of Franklin, Tennessee, which is a suburb of Nashville. We want to show you some new video from today. This is what you're seeing before the blast, and here is what it looks like afterward from a bird's eye view. Absolutely nothing left. The sheriff said about 300 first responders are still working to slowly dig through the debris and handle some of that charred explosive material. Unimaginable stuff. We are following developing news out of Maryland back here at home, where a school community is continuing to grieve. An all-after tragedy unfolded this week. An 11-year-old was hit and killed by a school bus. We do want to warn you, some of the details could be upsetting. We've also learned the girl's name. It's 11-year-old Summer Lim. Investigators say the bus was coming from Earl B. Wood Middle School. Lim was walking her bike home. It happened on Russet Road on Bauer Drive in Aspen Hill right after 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday. There were other students on the bus at the time of the crash. No injuries reported on that bus, but when police got there, they found the 11-year-old girl. Community members are still wondering what could have been done differently to prevent this from happening.
There have been some better safety measures so that this is never going to happen again. That's all you want. You don't want this to ever happen again.
Pedestrian safety is critically important, but also road safety is critically important. And I think that this is an opportunity for us to pause and for us to focus on what really matters and making sure that our kids arrive to school safely and get home safely every day.
Tragic stuff. Feel for the family, indeed. We do know that the bus driver is on leave pending the investigation. Officials say no charges will be filed until that investigation is done. Wood Middle School leaders, their principal Heidi Slatkoff, sent out this letter to parents saying, "I can't tell you how heartbreaking this is for all of us here at Wood Middle. Our hearts are with the student's family, friends, classmates, and everyone who knew and loved this child." Time is 9:12 in Montgomery County. AI may soon become key to help 911 dispatchers with non-emergency calls. County officials say nearly half of those 911 calls are for what they call non-emergencies. They say AI would free up dispatchers to more serious calls.
We hope that this, paired with increased staffing and implementing more efficient schedules for our specialists, will move us closer to the goal of being able to answer 911 calls with zero wait time.
Montgomery County Police say that they're planning to implement the new AI tech in the next year. DC News Now is your local election headquarters. All eyes on the Commonwealth, from the economy to queer rights to the controversy surrounding the Democrat nominee for Attorney General. Thursday night's debate for Virginia governor had it all. Both campaigns are claiming victory, but will this debate and their performance change the race? Commonwealth Capitol Bureau reporter Tyler Englander breaks it all down.
It's a Virginia governor's debate that will be remembered for the candidates' positions on controversial issues and, yes, what felt like constant interruptions. Let's take a look at the memorable moments and their impact on Virginia voters. Thursday night's Virginia governor's debate quickly became about Jay Jones, the Democratic nominee for Attorney General. Republican Winsome Earl-Sears going on offense after we learned Jones sent text messages saying former Republican House Speaker Todd Gilbert and his children should be killed.
Abigail, when are you going to take Jay Jones and say to him, you must leave the race?
After being asked 3 times if she still endorses Jones.
I didn't hear an answer there on the endorsement issue, so I want to just make sure. Will you continue to endorse Jay Jones to be the next Attorney General of Virginia? Ms. Spanberger, I understand what you're saying about the voters, but for you yourself, do you still continue to endorse Jay Jones?
Democratic gubernatorial nominee Abigail Spanberger said, quote, "We are all running our own races."
Obviously, the sort of drama and theater that Winsome Sears brought in the early going, particularly about Jay Jones, it was very dramatic. But I think that affects the Attorney General's race more than this particular gubernatorial race.
On LGBTQ rights, Spanberger criticized Earl-Sears over her lack of support for same-sex marriage.
My opponent has previously said that she does not think that gay couples should be allowed to marry. She has said that
discrimination.
Something Randolph-Macon political science professor Rich Marr says was a big mistake for Earl-Sears.
These are issues, unlike the transgender issues, where I think the public is not in line with what Winsome Sears believes.
Marr says despite the memorable moments, the performances from both candidates don't change the fact that Spanberger remains the likely favorite less than a month before Election Day. In Richmond, I'm Tyler Englander.
Thanks to Tyler. Still plenty of time to vote. Coming up, Hollywood icon, actress Diane Keaton has died at 79 years old. Take a look back at her life and her legacy. Plus, we're going to meet the DC native taking center stage on The Voice. Sitting down with Kenny Aiko about his experience and with Snoop Dogg. You're watching DC News Now. We'll be right back.